welcome to the subject of the month for March. This month we're going to take a look step by step at some of the fertility reporting options that Uniform can provide.
I know that Uniform has a lot of great fertility reports. Can you give me an overview of the reports and why I should look at them?
Yep. First of all then, let's go to the cow's head and let's select the menu option for fertility. Now the first one we're going to take a look at is Fertility Analysis Overview. This looks at the herd over a period of time, and you can define that period. So at the moment, we're just looking at the last 12 months. But if I go to Properties, I select Yearly, and then the last 5 years, we then get an idea of where the herd has come from. So back in 2011, 369 cows in milk. We can see that's gone up considerably. We can see the milk yield. Again, that's going up. And we then have a breakdown, as you can see, first of all of the young stock, and then for the fertility for the herd as a whole. So we can see average number of inseminations per pregnancy, percentage of the cows pregnant, and at the bottom we have the historic and the expected calving interval. And remember, if you want to dig deeper into the data, you can always click on the eye, and that will then show you the cows that are included in the calculation.
Okay, I understand. So that's looking at the herd over a period of time. But can I follow the fertility performance over a group of animals?
Yes, certainly. If we go to close, and the report you're looking for there is fertility analysis by calving group. So this is essentially cohort analysis where you track a group of animals. In this case, I've set it up to look at the calving months, but again, you could do it quarterly, you could do it over a period of time like a year, whatever. You have the ability to choose that simply by selecting Properties. So here we can see my August calvers. There's 52 cows that calved. I can see the average age at first calving and their current status. And then if we go down, the figures in grey mean that those aren't the final figures. We're still waiting for some results to come back. We can see the average number of inseminations for pregnancy, the calving interval, and then here we have the submission rate. So that's the voluntary waiting period plus 21 days. So we can see that we've got 95%, which is good. And if we take a second cycle, so that's the voluntary waiting period plus 42 days, then in fact all the animals that we planned to serve, we did actually achieve the fact that we served them in that period. Then finally, number of cows in calf at 100 days and number of cows not in calf at 200 days. So the reports are different. The first one, we're looking at the herd over a period of time, and on this one here, we're following their performance.
What does the herd fertility status show me?
Okay, that's a really good graph. And basically what we have is we have a series of dots. Each dot is a cow. That's the voluntary waiting period. We have days in lactation down here. And it just enables us to identify problem cows. So if I highlight this cow here, 364, I can see her days in milk, a current milk yield, and the fact that she's red, that denotes the fact that she's not pregnant. These cows here, the blue cows, colours, that's the fresh calved cows. And again, we can pick up cows, this cow here, 93 days in milk, and still not served, and given nearly 45 kilos of milk. And that has to be the loudest Harley Davidson I've ever heard coming past our office.
Agreed.
Right, let's continue.
Can you show me the calving pattern?
Yeah, we've made some changes here. So if you select calving pattern, what it will do is it shows the predicted number of calvings that are going to happen. So we're looking at this period, and here essentially it's making projections. So we look at cows and heifers, but if you go to Properties, you're also able to compare it with the previous year. So we can look at 2014 and what we predict is going to happen in 2015. Another change that we've made recently is you have the option to say only show pregnant cows. So now you'll see the change. These are confirmed pregnancies. This is what we expect to happen on the basis of a positive PD result. So we'll go back to the main menu.
Can you show this information graphically?
Yeah, we have a great report, insemination analysis. Now what this shows is it gives us a Q sum. And here we're looking at the last 100 inseminations. So each dot is the service of a cow. And if the line goes down, as we can see here, on the 1st of February, all these services here were unsuccessful. these services where the lines goes up, they were successful. So it's a really good visual guide, and you can change the period. You can say, I want to look, let's say, at the last 500 inseminations. Select OK, and then again we can really see the trend over a period of time. What's also important is we can look up here for days to first insemination. So that's when I plan to start serving my cows. Each dot again is a service. We have the time period, the calving date down here. And this cow we can see was actually served 18 days in milk, and it was unsuccessful. So it's just a good guide to check that everybody's following the protocols. We have a great graphic on days to pregnancy. And then if we go to summary, this is a series of graphic reports. So first of all, we have the Q sum. Here you can see that I changed it to 500 services. Days in milk, days to pregnancy. And then here, I've taken out the names, but we can see the individual bulls, and we can see their success rate. And if we go right to the end of the report, you're even able to break it down by the individual inseminator. So a real comprehensive report.
Now, I keep hearing how popular the pregnancy rate report is on farm.
Yeah, I think this is a very important report. It's part of our Big Farm module, so it's the US KPIs. And essentially what it enables us to do is to monitor, are we serving enough cows over a specific period? And if we are they getting in calf? So what we'll do is we'll just change it. You can look at it based on days in milk, but on this farm we tend to monitor it based on the period. So these are the weeks, and we've selected a 3-week period, but you could actually do it over 6 weeks or over 9 weeks. And what it enables us to do is to say that in this period there were 103 animals eligible to be served. We actually served 69. So our insemination rate was 67%. And then if we look further, out of those cows that we served, we're then able to see how many we got pregnant and what our pregnancy rate was. And we then have the 95% confidence interval ratio, which gives us an indication that if a cow was served in that period, what the likely outcome would have been. So down here we can see that the insemination rate is 66%, and the farm at the moment is running with a preg rate of 24%. So I think this is a really, really important tool for the farmer, but obviously for the vet as well. We can go further. If we go up to conception rate, we're also able here to look at a breakdown on the number of inseminations, but we have a filter down here, and on this you can look at it by the individual inseminator, the individual bull, the sire of the cow, even the day of the week. So I think the US preg rates is a very, very important tool to keep monitoring, to check on the performance of the herd. Are we serving enough cows? And if we are the cows actually holding? So as I hope you can see, the fertility reporting really is very, very powerful within the UNIFORM program. We take the raw data that we enter, and we're then really able to analyze the fertility performance of the herd. So we can look over a period of time. We can look graphically at the cow status. We can project a future calving pattern. We can identify the problem cows, young stock, monitor the individual bull. We have our Q sum analysis, so we can look graphically and look in days in milk to first service. We're able to look at heat and service intervals, our fertility listing, the fertility analysis by group. So that's essentially cohorts analysis, where we track the performance of a group of animals. And then right at the end, we have the US KPIs. So we believe that there's a report here for everybody, for the vet, for the farmer, and for the consultant. And if you need any help setting up these reports, we're very happy on the help desk to take you through it. So please give us a call.